Hey there, guys. It's Arnell here, and I'm just going to give my final thoughts on Outlast, the Whistleblower DLC. You've probably seen me and Tyler's Let's Play of it in Couch Gaming, and we both came off it in a very negative manner, actually, in the end. And me and Tyler, we loved Outlast. We loved it. The DLC, though, on the other hand, it just like nothing new came up to it. There's no real additions coming up to it, and I know the defense. I've been looking up on some reviews here, and like this is like one of the few times in which I do agree with IGN here, in that this game, I mean, the DLC was incredibly stale and gave absolutely nothing new and absolutely no new additions at all to the Outlast game. And I know the defense here is gonna be like, well, if you like Outlast and DLC does the exact same thing as Outlast, then what's wrong with DLC then? Yeah, well, here's the thing. It's DLC. It kind of is a given that's supposed to do something new or give a brand new addition to it. Like, it adds a new layer to the game, and this adds absolutely nothing to it. Absolutely nothing to it. And like in the end, I came off as very, very disappointed with this game. And here's it. Outlast as a whole. That game, like the genre in itself, should only be about 4 hours. Any game that follows that genre, the first-person pop scare thing, it should only last 4 hours. So imagine, so you're playing Outlast. It's a 4-hour game. It's a 4-hour game. Then we played the DLC, which was 3 hours. That's cool at the same time. But then again, when you play the DLC, you do realize that it is a very formulaic, monotonous game genre, in all honesty here. And like, me and Tyler were just expecting something like really cool, like, oh, are we gonna fight stuff now in this DLC? Are we gonna meet some brand new monsters? And by the way, no, I'm just gonna go off for this notion right now. The fat bastard freaking alien thingy is like, and the fat bastard guy is the only guy who really separates himself out compared to every single monster in this game. Wait, no, the fat bastard, and Toby, yeah. Toby and Fat Bastard are the only guys like stand up from the game. And for as much as I liked the bowtie guy, actually, he basically runs through the exact same mechanics and he does the exact same things as every single other character in this game, except for Fat Bastard and Toby. Like, people talk about how different each monster is. Like, oh, this character can, he carries a cleave. This guy carries a knife. This guy carries a dagger. This guy right here, he carries an axe. This guy right here, like, his skin color is slightly different. Like, I really don't get that. From that it's the same way, like in Call of Duty. Here's Call of Duty reference right here. Now I like Call of Duty. It's like, you have 5 guys with assault rifles, and each of them are wearing a different helmet. Does that classify as all 5 guys different characters? No, it isn't. If you have 10 guys carrying RPGs, and all 10 of them are wearing, like, slightly different colored green or slightly different colored blue, or different paints, or each RPG has like a different like texture to it, does that mean that each of those guys are very different on their own right? No, it's not. Like, there are only 2 characters that separate themselves out of like all the main like monster things from this game. And when we played this DLC here, it pretty much pointed out the monotony and the monotony of this genre. And I really believe that this wasn't a good DLC at all. It wasn't. I felt like this was forced in. Oh, here's it. And I agree with that. If I was the developers, I would totally do the exact same thing. I admit, if I was them, I would do the exact same thing. Hey, people love our game, and in all honesty, there wasn't that much actual effort put into it. So let's go put the exact same game out there, except we're gonna put the exact same game out there, except we're gonna add like one new character that in actuality isn't that different. The cool parts, the only like good thing I can ever say about this game is that you get to. The only cool part about this game was that the dialogue of the guy with the bow tie was pretty cool, and he was off torturing people. Like, that was like the only like intricate new thing that you saw from the game. That was not part of the original Outlast thing. That's about it. So, I'm the developers here. We created Outlast. People still like Outlast. So, they'll be like, you know what? Those guys on YouTube, yeah, we're getting a lot of press from these guys, and these guys will like to play any game. So you know what? We're going to create the exact same Outlast game, put it out for DLC. It's unfinished, nothing to it, nothing new added to, barely anything new added to it. We're going to add like 4 cool scenes to it, and you're going to deal with that for about the next 3-4 hours. That's how I see it. It's high money for a little effort. And I would do the exact same thing if I was them. I also didn't even understand the point of the notes at all, or the documents. I never understood that, because in the game it basically... because these are the kind of games that you don't need that much explanation for. Like government science project went bad stuff happens. Like, that's basically the plot of this like entire story here. And so, like, you're grabbing these documents that don't really mean anything. Like, they don't really add that much, because there isn't needed to be added here, actually. I don't understand the character, like... Me and Thor were questioning and bothered about this, that he was writing... Like, he was fucking writing, like, this shit down about, like, his wife and stuff. For what purpose? Nothing! Oh, the developers are here. Okay, we need to add something new here. So we're going to add this layer in which he's writing down and stuff while all this bad shit is happening down, alright? Sure. And it's horrible. It's freaking horrible. It's bad. And then, like, there was one scene, actually, where it's, like, our character, he's stuck in a furnace. And, like, he'd be off and he's trying to go and... like, he's trying to get out. He's trying to get out of here. And, like, and then he just punches. He punches a brick wall. He punches down this fucking, like, cascade of brick walls, and he escapes. So if this guy is as like, physically strong as he is, like, what stops him from, like, running up and trying to fight against these fucking monsters? Would it break down reduce the scares a bit? Yes, it would reduce the scares a bit, but it's adding something new. Wouldn't it be so awesome if your character for once can actually fight back? It would feel so good. It would feel so cool, and I will tell you right now, the experience would be so much better. No one can deny this. The experience would be so much fun, a lot more different, and a lot more just cool if you can go up there and fight these guys. But no, you can punch a brick wall down, but you can't even bother, like, putting up your fist up when some guy got his back turned, and you can go and punch him out right now. I don't understand that part. Here's the thing, for anyone, like, I looked at people, like, trying to defend the game here. All they were saying was that, well, it's like Outlast then, and it's really cool if it's just like Outlast, and play it. And, like, if you like Outlast, play Outlast again. Play in a very difficult, because the DLC and the Outlast game, there's absolutely nothing, barely anything to differentiate from the DLC to the average game. And I'm not saying that DLC should be like a brand new game, but it should add, like, new layers to the game, which it didn't at all. Oh, and, like, stumbling around naked doesn't add a new fucking layer. No, it doesn't. I also thought that the new DLC, actually, like, it was a lot more easier to go through around stuff. Like, the only times me and Tyler ever had any problems with the game was when we were outside and we could barely see shit because of the fog. We spent a majority of that game outside, like, in the fog. And once we like, really got the formula down of Outlast, it basically was just trial and error. Every time you go through a monster, it's a trial and error run. Like, the scare is just gone. Yes, we just jump scared. Like, there were jump scares in it, but there's a huge difference between jump scares and horror. I can go up right now on, like, I can go to some random guy right now and punch them, and that guy can be scared. That in itself is a jump scare. Like, if you're just some random guy walking across the park, and then I just came up to you and just punched you in the face, that's basically a jump scare. That is not horror. This DLC, the first, like, okay, Outlast, like, it's music. It gave an ambience of horror. This DLC here completely takes that away, because you move in a lot more faster paced. You're going to be dealing with shitty fucking fog. Well, you're going to be dealing with shitty ass freaking fog. They didn't put that much effort or any emphasis in what makes each build, like, we went through the exact same building over and over again. Every room looks the exact same. Me and Tyler became confused if we were going backwards or we were going forwards, because every room was the exact same thing. And by the way, whoever is the guy who designed this freaking hospital or prison cell absolutely sucks. Like, fucking, like, he's got walls and maze like a mousetrap everywhere, man. Just pretty horrible and monotonous and annoying in the end. Like, we became less scared and became more, wow, this is getting kind of annoying, actually. And this DLC is roughly around $9. So, like, that's the same price. You can use that money to go get another, like, cheap indie, like, first-person horror-esque game out there to go do. But Outlast Whistleblower, I absolutely wish that other people out there would be like, I wish other gamers would, like, look at Whistleblower and be like, wow, they totally tricked us. They fooled us and put little effort out there, and we spent a lot of money on it because we believed it was going to be a good product. No, I want my games to actually be better. I want my games to, like, I want DLC to add a lot more layers and make these games more intricate. All this DLC proves, basically, is that you can go shell out a first-person horror indie game out there, hope it gets popular on YouTube, and then people will buy it. I completely disagree with that. A game should be good in its own merits. This DLC right here only proves how negative this genre can be, and it just shows how we're kind of dumb we are for buying the DLC in the first place, because we thought it would be something cool and new. That's about it. So, Whistleblower DLC, well, I highly recommend you just skip this DLC game right now. Go save your money. Go buy any game, any cheap, like, indie game out there you can find. I recommend that over playing this DLC, because this DLC is a waste of 3 to 4 hours of your life.